guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching. If you're new here, I'm VuvuMOfficial. In this channel we do vlogs, lifestyle, beauty content and a little bit of everything. And to my returning subbies, welcome home my honeys, and thank you so much for stopping back by. So in today's video, as you have seen by the title, it's a get to know me tag, question and A. It's about marriage and kids. It's actually my first get to know me tag, I think, ever since I started the YouTube channel. So I thought I should do it so that people can get to know me a little better. So without rambling too much, let's get to the video. So first things first, I would like to introduce myself before I start with the questions. I'm Nomvuyiseko Mulawudzi. My marriage surname is Mulawudzi, but my maiden surname is Singoto. I'm Xhosa and I'm married to a vendor guy who is from Limpopo, Louis Trichardt, and I'm from Eastern Cape in Port Elizabeth, where I was born and raised. I have a degree in management and I'm doing my project management right now, and I also have a certificate in PGCE, and I work full-time. I'm a mother of 3, and I'm a wife to my husband, and my husband also has a 9 to 5 job. So let me start my questions. I've wrote everything down, so if you see me looking down, I am reading the questions because I don't have a camera, so I'm using my phone to film this video. So the first question is where did you and your husband met? Okay, so me and my husband, we met in Eastern Cape. He used to work in Grahamstown and I used to work in Grahamstown as well. So that's where we met. We actually met in the bank. I used to work in the bank and he went to the bank just to make some transactions and I was the one assisting him. So while I was busy assisting him, he asked for my numbers and I decided to give him my numbers, and the rest is history. So that's how me and my husband met. And second question is, do you take turns and split the bill when you go out? No, we don't take turns and we definitely don't split the bill. But what we do, I do take my husband out from time to time, and he does take me out from time to time. So when I'm the one who suggested that we should go out, I pay the bill, and if he's the one who suggested that we should go out, he pays the bill. So we don't split, we don't take turns. It just happens when I feel like going out, I just ask my husband, let's go out, and then I'll pay. That's all. How do you deal with relationship or marriage breakup? Okay, I've never been divorced before, so I won't dwell on the marriage breakup, but I will talk about relationship breakup. Relationship breakup, it's very hard because now you're breaking up with someone that you got so used to, that you love, and that love doesn't really go away immediately and you can't really erase it immediately, but it does take time to heal. So the only thing you can do is just accept the fact that okay, the relationship no longer works for you or no longer works for the other party, and it's just a genuine breakup, and then you just need to accept and then move on with your life. Don't dwell too much on a breakup. There's a lot of men, there's a lot of girls out there. Maybe your soulmate is somewhere else. So yeah, just accept and move on. That's all I can say. What do you and your husband do for a living? I have a 9-to-5 job, so I work in corporate and my husband work in government. So yeah, that's all I can say. Did you have a white wedding? No, we didn't have a white wedding, not yet. What I can say, we did have, you can say it's a traditional wedding. You know, in Xhosa culture, or let me say African culture, a man comes and pay ilobola, and then what we do after paying ilobola, we do the ceremony called ukwazisa abayeni, like to introduce your in-laws to the people, and we slaughter the sheep. Yeah, where we slaughter a sheep, and then they take half of the sheep and go home with it, with a bottle of brandy, so that they can show to the other people, to their families, that this is what they came back with from the woman's side. So that's what I did, which it's a celebration after the lobola has been done. So we haven't done a proper traditional and a proper white wedding. I have plans for my traditional wedding as well as my white wedding. I know how I want it to look like and how I want it to be, and currently I don't have the funds for what I want, so we just decided to put it on hold up until we have the funds, so that we can have the best wedding that we want to have and the way that we want it to have it. Do you have siblings? Yes, I do have siblings. I have one sister, older sister from my mom. We are only two from my mom's side. It's only me and my older sister. And then I've got 3 other siblings from my father's side. Is it 3 or 5? We've got 5, actually 5 siblings from my father's side. So meaning we are 7 currently. Actually we are 6 currently because the other one passed away. How many kids do you have? I have 3 kids. It's 3 girls. What is the age difference between you and your husband? The age difference is actually months. He was born 85 in August and I was born 86 in June. I think it's 10 months. It's 10 months between me and my husband. How do you balance being a parent and lovers? It's not easy at all being a parent as well as being lovers. You know what happens is that the minute a woman has kids, you focus more on the kids and then you forget about your relationship or your marriage, and that does affect a lot of relationship as well as marriage. Hence, if the relationship was not built or the marriage was not built on a strong foundation, then that's where the breakup, the fights and the breakup will start. So I think in order to balance those two, you and your husband, you need to go out a lot, or your partner, you need to, actually not a lot, but you need to make some time in your schedule to go out. You need to make some time in your schedule where you go out on a weekend away. You just leave the kids behind and it's just you and him enjoying yourself, so that you can rekindle that love as well as you can rekindle the sex life, because it's difficult actually to be intimate while you have kids at home. Kids who can just rock up inside your bedroom without any notice. So having a partner that really assists and also help with bringing up the kids, then it makes a difference. It makes a difference in the balancing. What do you think of breaks in marriage? Like, it breaks for what? What is it the break for? I really don't understand breaks in marriage or breaks in relationship. I don't do breaks. It's either you are in or you are out. I don't have time for breaks. I don't do breaks. It's either you are in or you are out. If you have a problem, let's just deal with the problem and move on. But don't dwell too much. Don't come to me and say, Ish, I'm tired of this marriage, or I'm tired now of this break. Can we have a break? And also, just go, because by the time you come back I will have been moved on a long time ago. I don't do breaks. It's either you in or you are out. The minute you want a break, then bye bye. Don't ever think that when you come back you'll find me waiting for you. So no breaks. When did you and your husband get married? We got married in 2013 when on my second born child. Actually, that's where we signed, actually in 2013. But when I was pregnant with my firstborn, he was out of town, so he came back when my child was 3 months old. And then when he came back, he paid half of the lobola. That was 2011. He paid half of the lobola. Then in 2013, that's when my mom, my parents and his parents, they gave us permission that we can sign. They gave us their blessings that we can sign. So that's what we did. We signed. Did you get married for love or money? Like, really, guys, who does it? I got married for love. We both loved each other, and we both thought that it felt right that for us to get married and spend our lives together, and that's what we did. So it was love. We got married for love, not for money. Anyway, the time we got married, we didn't even have the money, so we married for love. Are all your kids his, and does he have other kids outside of marriage? All the kids that we have, the 3 kids that we have, it's ours. I don't have a child outside of marriage, and he doesn't have a child as well outside of marriage. Not that I know of, but currently I don't know of any child. We both had our firstborn together. I have a lot of questions, guys. At what age did you get married? I got married at age 27. How long have you been dating for before getting married? Okay. We started dating 2010, and then in 2011 I got pregnant, and then that's when he made his intention that he wants to marry me. Left outside of the country, came back, and that's when he paid the first lobola. Yeah, so we actually dated only for a year, and then he paid lobola. Was it love at first sight? Was it love at first sight? Definitely it was not on my side. I don't know about his side, whether it was love at first sight or he just saw a lady and he thought, let me try my luck. But on my side, it was not love at first sight. The guy just wanted my numbers. I gave it to him, and then he started calling me, and when he called me, he made his intention that he would like to date me. I was like, I'm just out of a relationship, a serious relationship, so I don't want anything serious. Let's just see where it ends, and then here it is. What insecurities do you have after having kids? I can't really say I have. The only insecurities that I had before was the intimacy after having kids, because I thought like, because all my kids I gave birth naturally, so I was like, I gave birth to kids, 3 kids naturally. Will the intimacy ever be the same? Will he feel me the same he used to feel me, or will be bored after me having kids? So, but yeah, we're still here today. The intimacy, it's still fine. I think that was the only insecurities. But bodily wise, I did gain weight, but I did lose it. I'm not the same size I was before I had kids, but I didn't gain as much weight. When it comes to scratch marks, I don't have any scratch marks, so I can't really say much about scratch marks. So yeah, that's all. Do you feel like you got married too young and had kids too young? No, I don't feel like I got married too young. I was 27. I had my kids when I was 24. No, I had my first child when I was 25 years old. So I got married when I was 27 years old, but he did pay lobola when I was 26. I didn't feel like I was too young. Actually, I was ready. I felt like I've done everything. I've partied, I've dated, and I felt like I felt like I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for being a mother, I'm ready for being a wife. I was just too excited. So I don't think I was young at that time. Are you married in community of property or outside of community of property? We married in community of property. We didn't see a need to marry outside of property or have a prenup or anything like that, because at that time when we met, we're both still building. We both didn't have much. We were still building. So the life that we have right now, we built both together. So we didn't see the need to marry outside of community or have a prenup or something. But if you feel like you've got assets that you really don't want to lose, if it happens that you get divorced, you can marry outside of community of property. Or there's an option where you get married in community of property, but the things that you had before you got married, they are safe. They won't be affected when you do get divorced, and the only things that will be affected is the things that you accumulated within the marriage. So you can have that type of a marriage as well. How is marriage life treating you? As you can see, I'm glowing, baby. oh I'm joking, guys. Marriage life is treating me well. It's fine, nothing much. It's treating me well. Are you planning to have kids again? No, I don't think so. Not anytime soon. Financially, we're not at that stage where we can have kids anymore, but we will see. We will see as the time goes by, because he does want it in future when we are financially stable, at least to number 4, the last born. But yeah, we will see. And anyway, we're not getting younger. I'm about to reach 40 years. By the time I reach 40, I don't see myself getting pregnant again. Never. I'll never get pregnant after 40. How is the relationship between you and your in-laws? My relationship is okay. There's nothing much. It's fine. We all respect each other. We're cordial with each other. So there's nothing much that is happening. We actually have a good relationship. We do speak with my mother-in-law from time to time on the phone. I do speak with my brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law. So there's nothing much. Do you club now that you're a wife and have kids? Oh, we do. Not a lot, not like we used to, but we do go out from time to time when we feel like, you know what, let's go out and go to a club and have some fun. We do go out. Did you discuss finances with your husband before you got married? No, we didn't discuss, and it's something that I feel like we should have done it before we got married. So it's something I wish we had, and it's something that I would advise people to have before you get married, so that you know how much each other earns, you know how the person spends their money, whether they believe in saving or not, whether they believe in having debts, a lot of debts, or no debts at all. But I think that's a topic people should have, so that you don't find out about things when you are deep inside the marriage that, oh, okay, I didn't know about this one. Finances are very important, because finances, it's one of the major things that break up marriages, because people don't want to discuss, or they don't want to disclose their finances. So it's a topic you need to have with your man before you sign that contract. How do you handle cheating? Well, I don't know what to say, because I've never had to handle cheating in my marriage. He has never given me a reason to doubt him that he's cheating. I have never given him a reason. So we are not at that stage yet. I've never experienced it in my marriage. But before past relationships, I have had a cheating in between the relationship, for which it's not good at all, because it makes you doubt yourself in the relationship, and you end up blaming yourself for something you didn't do that someone has done to you. So it's not good at all. If I ever experience cheating in my relationship, I don't know what I would do, because I always tell myself now that if he ever cheats, if I ever found out that he is cheating, I'm packing my bags, I'm leaving, because I don't want to handle that type of stuff. But I don't know, because I'm in a marriage, so I don't know how I will react. When my ex cheated, I was like, bye boy, I'm not here. Then he made it worse by making someone pregnant. I was like, whoo, I'm not ready to be a stepmom, so bye bye. So I don't know how I would react here in my marriage if it ever happened. How did you handle being a first-time mom? Being a first-time mom, it was very nerve-wracking, especially when you have a husband that was always outside of town. He was never home. I would see him sometimes once or twice in a year, because he was always outside of town, always traveling, which he still does, but now he does it moderately. He travels now within South Africa, where I can actually, if I miss him, I can just take a flight and go. Whereas before, he used to travel outside of South Africa, where I couldn't even go. So it was tough, but I had help from my mom, and it was even more difficult because my baby was a premature child. So it was tough for me, but my mom was there. My mom used to do everything for my child, used to bath her, like do everything. Mina, the only thing I did was to just feed the baby, that's all. So I had help, but now, yeah, after a second, third one, I was like, ooh, I've been there before, so I know the gist of everything. Did you date your husband before he popped the question? Yes, we dated. We dated for a year before he popped the question. How did your parents take the news that you're getting married? Unfortunately, my dad passed away a year before. 2 years before I got married. A year before I met my husband, and 2 years before I got married. So he never got the chance to experience that part of my life. But my mom was happy that I'm getting married. She was ecstatic, and she was like, okay, cool. The only thing that worried my mom and my sister is the fact that I'm an introvert. I like my space, and sometimes when I feel like I don't want to talk, I just close myself in my room and then I just sit there. So they were like, how is she going to handle marriage and also handle the in-laws? Because when she's with the in-laws, she will have to clean, cook, and now she will have to be I will have to be in front of people, even when I'm not in the mood to be in front of people. And at my home, we were never forced to cook, to clean, and do all those stuff. You did it because you wanted to, but it was never a thing that we have to do it. Someone else's house, and then you find yourself doing those things. That's one of the things that they felt like, this one will not make it in marriage. We're just giving her a year or two, she'll be back, but I'm still here 10 years later. How far apart are your kids? I'm sure this person is meaning the age gap between my kids. From my firstborn to my secondborn, it's a 2-year gap, and then from my secondborn to the third year, it's a 3-year gap. That's how actually I wanted to have kids. I didn't want to have a child, wait 5 years or 10 years and then have another one. I was like, no ways, I'm not gonna do that. I want my kids to be 1 year, 2 year gap, so that they can grow together. When they go to school, they go together. Go to university, they go together. When they leave my house, they all leave my house. I don't have any child who's going to stay behind. So that was the plan. And another thing, I was like, I'm not gonna have my child now, nurse my figure, train and all that, and 10 years later now I have to go back and have a child again. No, let me just have my kids, and then after that I look after my body, and then I train and do all those things, then I come back and be fit again. How did you knew that you're ready to being a wife and a mother? I think I've always knew. Because even the time I was growing up, I always told my friends that by the age of 24, 25 years, I'm gonna get married and have a child and probably have my house, driving my own car, but other things they came after. But I got married at that age, so I think I always knew ready. When that time came, I think even my body became ready, even my mind, even my soul became ready. How long did you date before he introduced you to his family and vice versa? I'm not sure when I introduced him, but I remember when we started, before we dated, I used to go home every weekend. Remember, I was working in Grahamstown and I'm from PE, so every weekend I used to travel home and then go back every Monday morning. So when I met him, those days they started dropping. I would go home this weekend, maybe skip 2 weekends and then go home again. That's when my mom knew, good, this one has found a boyfriend there. I think I introduced him 4 or 5 months down the line. And then he also, because we met in March 2010, and then he took me home he introduced me December. When he was going home December time, he said I should travel with him. Then I got permission from my mother that I can go. That's when he introduced me. That was March, April, May, June, July, August, that was 8 months after. We got to the end of the questions. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let's have a conversation down below, and then subscribe to my channel as well. And thank you so much, guys, and thank you for the questions, and I'll see you on my next video. Good night.